What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Dirty Shore Underground podcast. Tonight we are talking music again. Back on it. Local in a sense. The guy we're going to be talking about originates from Philly. Currently living in Miami, but before we get into it, as always, Rob's going to hit you with all the info you need to know.
Make sure you go to DirtyShoreUnderground.com. New episode of the podcast available on Thursday, as you know right now. And bonus episodes. We have one more week of Fear the Walking Dead. New episode just came out last week for episode 6. Episode 7 coming up this week. Make sure you join us on Sunday for that episode. Make sure you're following at Dirty Shore UG on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's the easiest way to stay up to date on what we're doing. And you can follow on all your social networks there at Dirty Shore UG. And you'll be able to get links to everything, including the live stream. We are live streaming this and every episode on YouTube at youtube.com/c/Dirty Shore UG-OTA. And you can be part of the podcast. Scroll down to the bottom. There's a section that says live comments. Click right in there. Type in your question or your comment. It'll pop up on the right hand side of the screen. And we'll read them out. And you can be part of the podcast and join us here. So make sure you do that. I think that's everything, right? So make sure you check out DirtyShoreUnderground.com for more information. And while you're there, give a click on over to the Amazon link. It's a great way to support the podcast. You click through, it takes you to Amazon, just like you shop like you normally would. You check out, costs you nothing extra, but as a thank you, Amazon gives us a little something for sending you there. It's a great way to support the podcast, help us keep the lights on, help us to keep new equipment coming, and to produce this fine, free podcast that you get to enjoy every week. So make sure you check that out. So today we're talking about Loki, who is living the dream that I am about to embark on in a way.
Yes.
Because local in a metroplex of Baltimore, Washington, Philadelphia, but moved and said, I'm doing this thing, and he's off making music now.
Yeah, he's been doing it for years, and outside of that, as far as I know of, he makes masks and makes a living off that. Outside of that, he did a crowdfunding thing last year for a cheap RV, which more than doubled the funds from fans who hadn't really heard from him in a couple years. So the next step past, alright, we hit this goal. He was like, what can we do from there? Alright, if we reach this goal, because he researched it, we'll do the wrap thing with the full wrap on the RV. And every person that put money into helping him get that RV, their name would be on the RV.
Well, speaking of fans you hadn't heard from in a couple of years, well, we were doing a little bit of research for this episode. Obviously, Kenny is the one who's got the input, the inside line on all of the acts that we talk about. He introduces me to a lot of these people. And we're looking for a little background information on Loki. And he sends me a tripod link. And I swear to God, I haven't seen a tripod link in probably 10 years. So it stunned me. And it's all the gloriousness that you would think a tripod link would be. Like, the background is like pink and black zebra prints, and the colors. Like, check out the show notes. The link will be in the show notes.
Zebra print there. I had to look. I got it up for.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. So what's in the background though? What's in the background?
It says Insane Clown Posse.
Okay.
It was a Juggalo site. So.
It's a Juggalo site. So yeah. So Karina said, thank you for joining us. Everybody who's down watching us downstairs. Now I can comment there. Happy now. Happy if it wasn't you, but otherwise I guess it's okay. Make sure you also comment with everything from everybody else. And make sure you're joining us in the chat room. YouTube.com/C/Dirty Shore UG-OTA. Make sure you join us to be part of the podcast. But alright, so it's a Juggalo's website, which dates it anyway. Tripod. I haven't gone to a tripod website in seriously like a decade. And it just reminded me that I probably have 1,000 websites that are just dying somewhere on the internet. They still exist. They're still there, and they're just clicking. It's just, a image running and whatever bullshit I was into that week with a counter. And every time somebody's coming to that page, every time Google's coming to the page to do a little crawler on it, the counter goes up. There must be tens of thousands. You're going to have to check out the comment section to see what Karina had to say about me. But every time the Google spider comes, it clicks up that counter. But there must be like hundreds of thousands of clicks through the website now. if I had put some kind of ad on there, God, I'd be rolling in the money now. But I didn't. So what are you gonna do?
Everybody had a tripod or a GeoCities.
GeoCities. What was the other one? Angel Fire websites. It's insane.
I probably had 10 different ones on GeoCities just because it was so simple to build on if you didn't know HTML. But then I got a book on learning HTML because I was developing a website for a record label that later fell through, sadly enough. Another story, another time. Probably heard about it before.
But I mean, it's there's a ton of websites out there, and so this is one of them. So you sent me the link. We'll put the link in the show notes so everybody can check it out. Make the counter go crazy on that particular page, hopefully. But it's a little bit of background information. But you actually know a little bit about Loki from before, so
a little bit.
So let's go through a little bit of the background from this website, and then we'll kind of get into your personal experience with him. But tell everybody a little bit about him.
The earliest I know of.
The fans want to know why Brian is hiding in the kitchen. What's going on?
I'm not hiding.
You don't want to come sit out here and join us?
I don't know nothing about the guy, so.
So he's just going to be. We have the Peanut Gallery here. Welcome to the Peanut Gallery. Thank you. And our expanded Peanut Gallery, who always joins us in the comments section. Big shout out to the Alliance. Make sure you join the Alliance, Anthem Alliance, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, everywhere at Anthem Alliance. We love our supporters, and we want you to join and be part of this bigger movement of the OD Anthem Network, of which this podcast is a proud part. So thank you guys for all your support. We really appreciate it. So tell us a little bit about Loki.
The earliest I know of Loki is Temple Reign.
Okay.
Which, when I read the bio on Tripod, was after the first incarnation of a hardcore rap group that he was a part of out of Philly. Loki, in true fashion, as I read through it all the way up to 2005, album comes out, album's free.
Right.
Even to this day, when he releases an album, if it's a pay-for album, it's dirt fucking cheap.
$3.99, I think, was the most recent album. So.
And then after like 2 weeks, he puts it out for free anyway.
Right. Just try to get a little buzz going, and then. But he also, I mean, really, you mentioned it earlier, but all the masks, one of which is right here, the masks that are featured in the videos, are available for purchase on his website. So I know that it's a lot of pushing people to the website to buy the masks as well. Yeah.
I will say the least.
So.
He's done artwork for Gruesome, which we've talked about in the past.
Right.
Because Gruesome was shitting on Joker, and we were talking about Hobson and all that bullshit one night, so all of that was mentioned, except for Loki and doing album work, because album work didn't really matter, but he's
this
a graphic
is real,
designer.
not fiction. Sorry.
Karina says, I thought he was saying Loki earlier, as in Thor's Loki. And I will say that he does pronounce it like Loki. It's L-O space K-E-Y. Loki.
At one point, I believe he had it as all one word, but he switched it when Marvel started doing movies
Yeah.
for that purpose.
Right, but he says it Loki. When in all the raps, you can hear him when he says his name is Loki. I also think that's because it rhymes better when you're looking for words that rhyme. Low-key, it's easier just to run it together as one word. And he's pretty fast, so it runs together.
Or you'll hear him say Loki Cabal,
mm-hmm.
which to me is a Mortal Kombat reference,
right.
If you remember Cabal.
Not at all. Don't remember anything. But
you weren't allowed to play this kind of game.
Was not allowed to play. But L-O space K-E-Y, referring to a lower key, is what his name actually is. But so how did he started out was we previously on previous episodes talked about other rap artists, and one in particular you showed me the video for it is kind of claiming that he found him. Now I'm gonna get down into a little conspiracy theory here, guys.
There we go.
This is the reality of the situation. On previous podcasts, we've talked about a relatively underground rapper named The Joker. Here's my theory. The Joker and Loki are the same person because they sound very similar, they have a very similar style, and I think that they look similar.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm just putting it out there. I think that is in fact the case. But
I'm still saying you're wrong because I've met Loki.
okay, so give us the reasons why you think I'm wrong.
I've met Loki.
Right.
Brandon has met both Loki and the Joker.
Have you ever seen Loki and the Joker in the room at the same time?
One's East Coast and one's West Coast.
It's a likely excuse.
This is like two Biggie and Pac right here.
It's a likely. Well, you know what? Pac was from Baltimore, so.
This is a skinny fat situation. One was skinny and one was fat.
I think that you can wear a fat suit. There's a lot of ways to get around it. I don't believe it, not for a second. If you've seen Loki and the Joker in the room at the same time, let us know. Otherwise, I don't believe it. They're the same person. I did. Yes, I did. I listened to the song.
Did you think the voice was the same?
No, I think it sounds like one guy's putting on an accent and the other. The Joker's got his Joker persona, which includes a voice that he does, where he lowers his voice and he makes it sound weird. And when he doesn't do that voice...
Watch it, Joker. I'm like, this you doing that.
Yo, Joker, come out and diss me. Come out and diss me. It could do nothing but make me feel great about myself.
But see the difference.
Make fun of a silly hat. That'll get his attention.
I mean, there's way too... We've already talked about the outfit, the makeup, the hat in previous episodes. I got more than enough to say about that. And listen, when I put out my rap album, we can go back. We can go back and forth as much as you want. I got plenty of material on you. But so you compare that. He has a persona that he does, including a voice, and then he has Loki, which is his other persona. And in the song that we're going to talk about specifically, he talks about how he has a different persona, and now he's sliding into the real him. It's fucking the Joker. It's the same person. I'm telling you. Same person. Same person. Never seen in the same room. You've never seen me and Batman in the same room? Just saying. There's a reason. You haven't seen the Joker and Loki in the same room.
And a comic.
Right. That's what they want you to think. Or what I want you to think.
We'd like you to think so.
Right.
Gotham City does not exist.
So, tell us a little bit about your experience with Loki. I know you mentioned that you met him before, but how is it that you met him?
When I actually met him, the Mission Effect stage was going on, so this is 2005, 2006 era. Him and a guy that we always called Snoop, and these were the first people that you would see wearing the color contacts. In the video, you see Loki wearing the whiteouts.
Was it the video? So we also watched a movie, like a short film that he shot.
Yeah, I was watching that when you came in.
And so he was wearing the whiteout contacts, which I think are the same ones Hobson wears, but you know, obviously with a black light, it gives a different image.
Loki was doing it well before anybody else was in the underground. So.
Oh, God, Karina. Okay, so if you're gonna comment, you need to figure out how to actually spell the nana. It's nana 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 nana. No duh. No duh.
Dewana.
All right. Anyway, so
that's her rap coming out.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Hey, Joker, Karina's making fun of you. Take pot shots at her. All right. So you met him. So you met him back in that phase. When was that?
It was 2005 was the first show I ever went to. It was Cottonmouth Kings. It was in Towson. People from him and his crew came down. All had Mission Effect shirts on, the charm and everything. I met his boy Snoop, who wore the blackout contacts, so it was all black like a demon.
Right.
Like Swizz wears now.
Right, yeah.
And then you had Loki, who wore the whiteouts, with just the pupils being visible, which like Hobson wears.
Right.
But instead of it being them, it was a couple of white kids from Philly spreading their shit, and Mission Effect, it was getting real heavy on the East Coast.
Right.
Like, everybody from Delaware that we fucked with, everybody knew this crew, everybody traveled to go see these people.
It was a Chevy, man, not a horse.
Karina, the things you want to do with a horse, I don't want any part of, alright? I'm sorry. Make sure you're joining us in the...
Donkey Show?
No, not a fan of the Donkey Show. Well, make sure you're joining us on youtube.com/c/Dirty Short.
Clerks 2 just popped into my head when...
Dirty Short UG-OTA, and join us in the comment section. Obviously, there's a bit of a conversation going on in the comment section. You want to make sure you join us for that, as always, at YouTube. So, alright, so, but this was about the same time that Eric Prophecy was doing his thing, right?
And Eric was kind of a part of their crew. This was Gruesome's introduction to a lot of people on the East Coast, because he was a part of Mission Effect, and if you go back and find the Mission Effect albums, Gruesome is on them because he was part of the Mission Effect rap group.
Right. So, and going through the background that we read there, I mean, he was obviously out before that. But, you know, I think they said it went back as far as like the late 90s. He was doing stuff.
98.
Yeah.
98 was the first Inception. Group called Anonymous Tip out of Philly. That one I didn't know about. It was right after that when Temple Rain dropped in with Seventh Seal Entertainment. And then after that, he did Shadowland Productions, and he started doing his mask making and everything on the side.
So you could probably give everybody kind of a background on this, because I had to do a little bit of research about it. You know obviously way more than I do about it. But these things have taken a natural progression, not just for Loki, but for a couple of other artists as well, where he started out being the rap guy in a rock band. Well, a metal band, if you will. But
and we know a couple of those.
We do know a couple of those. Tony, if you're always welcome to come back. Tony Steele's always welcome to come back on the show.
Trying to get him here Sunday.
Yeah. So he started being the rap guy in a metal group.
Mm-hmm.
And then he progressed to having a rap group. That was Anonymous Tip, right? Am I right about that?
I think it was Temple Rain more.
Temple Rain was the rap group. And then he went from there to what this new video is, which is horrorcore.
In a sense, yes. I don't know if I would call it horrorcore, because the whole thing with his Jack Yo Beach shit is him wanting to do more straight hip hop.
Okay.
But without being judged by what he typically does from his fans.
So on the previous albums, though, he called himself the king of horrorcore. In fact, I think that was one of the previous album titles.
I mean, a lot of artists do that.
No, but so wait. So what is the reason I ask is explain to everybody what is the rap? Everybody knows what a metal band that does rap is. I mean, if you want to see like the real mainstream version of that is Linkin Park, who has a guy who does rap beats. Mike Shinoda does rap beats over a rock band. Then you get a little more metal than that, and you're getting into some more. I mean, basically.
Five Finger redid "I'ma Knock You Out"
with Tech 9 on the beat.
There you go.
Tech 9 doing it.
So
that's
and then
heavy metal.
progressing into the rap, everybody knows what a rap group sounds like, and I mean it varies very widely. I mean,
love a good mix of the two together.
Right. And then, but I don't know that everybody knows what horrorcore is. So can you kind of give everybody an idea of what that is?
Oh God, we're talking about the squeegee.
That's why I ignored it. So go ahead. So tell everybody what horrorcore is.
Horrorcore is essentially a horror movie on a CD.
Okay.
And obvious focus is towards people like me who love gory fucking movies.
Right.
I own several versions of the entire Friday the 13th series, start to finish.
That's that stuff that Brandon was listening to about cutting you open and
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know who
he
the artist- I don't know
he
who the
didn't
artist
necessarily
is,
get it from me because he'd heard it too. Because like the first time me and Brandon met, and he was like, "Well, I don't know how you feel about Hollywood Undead." And I was like, "I love their shit. I've been bumping it for like 3 weeks straight."
It was a rap though. It was like, I don't know. I don't remember who the artist is, but it was some weird shit.
It was probably some really old ICP.
No, it was a black guy. It sounded like. But
I'll
it
say
wasn't
that-
Tech.
Wasn't Tech?
I don't remember. I'll find out who it was. I don't remember who it was.
Might be Hobson.
It might be. That was some pretty gruesome shit that they were talking about in the video, in the song. So
Do you know what he said?
not off the top of my head. It's been a while since I've heard it now.
Did he beat babies with oranges?
I don't remember.
Damn it.
I know he's talking about cutting people up with a cleaver and.
That can be a lot of that kind of music, though. But so basically, it's everything you would see in a horror movie, but it told in story form in an album.
It's music.
Yeah.
It's entertainment for, people like me. As everybody knows, I think way outside the box.
Right.
Who has a short
And
attention span?
I know this is where it's going to end up going because I've watched the video probably 40 times in the last 24 hours.
Right.
And we already had the fucking issue last night with the zombie shit, so...
Hell, I watched it 3 times in a day. Kenny?
But so
I wanted to do it more because Spencer kept trying to tell me to put something else on, so I just wanted to be like, click, watch this instead.
But Loki has gone from the horrorcore to something a little more mainstream.
He's He's to me, he's like the lower end Tech 9,
Okay.
and I don't really.
And
wanna
by
say
lower end, not quality, but like less known, less widely known.
Yes, less known, because it's not that he's one of those artists. He wants to try different things.
Right.
He reminds me of Tech 9. He reminds me of Twisted. He wants to do different things. He don't want to stick to a singular thing.
Right.
Every time he puts something out, he tries something different.
Wait, so the masks thing. When did the mask start? I mean, has he been doing that as long as you've known that he's been around?
He's essentially most of the time he's always covered at least part of his face.
Mm-hmm.
There are pictures out there where his face ain't covered, but anymore it's rare. And that usually comes down like with the artists that paint their face like twisted and stuff.
Right.
It comes down to not so much that it's a gimmick for them, it's that they want you to hear the shit in the song.
Right.
Not what they look like, or like with Backstreet Boys, and they go on stage and something. And they
Pretty boys.
They make them look like pretty boys, and then it becomes okay. Well, the music might suck, but the girls think they're hot,
And they're
so
going to
it's
sell.
gonna sell. They want the people to just feel the music.
Is that why Hollywood did it?
That is why Hollywood originally did it. That's why I was upset when I went and seen them live, because they were coming. The tour bus was literally right in front of me in line. They were running in and out without their mask on. I was like, man, that kind of just kills the fun of it for me. And they came on stage and they did the first two songs. They had the mask on, and it was the new mask, so the mouthpiece was cut out.
Yeah.
For a while they were doing the first couple songs, and then the mask came off, and I was just like, man.
Well, I guess it's
You
kind
were
of
told
like
to shut up. You
it
love the
kinda kills
Backstreet
it.
Boys.
going all the way back to Kiss, where Kiss did that album without their makeup, and everybody was like, well, I mean, half the thing was the makeup. You know, we didn't know what you really looked like. It was the white-faced guys who are singing songs. It wasn't about you. It was about the music. And
You wouldn't
they
never
made
see
it like
Simmons'
that.
face unless he stuck his tongue out. So.
Well,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna deny that I love the Backstreet Boys. They have some
we-
good songs.
We sing Backstreet Boys at karaoke
Yes,
all the time.
we do. We've done it. There's video of that on YouTube.
Yeah.
But that's beside the point.
Don't tell everybody.
Look, we grew up. All three of us grew up in that era.
Yeah.
That there wasn't really iPods, and like we mentioned before, at that time you had to carry.
I had New Kids on the Block.
I had that too. Yeah, I'm sure Rob did too.
Yeah.
I had the little tape recorder. It was about that
Back
big. You hang
then,
it on your hip.
If you wanted
The
to
tapes
listen,
were that big.
yeah, if you wanted to listen to more than one album, you had to have Jenkos in a sense to carry that around to listen to more than one album.
Well, and getting back to Loki, though, the masks are all available at Shadowland Shop, SHADOWLANDSHOP.com. And in fact, the image that you see right up here, that mask is available for purchase on that website, as well as all the masks that you see. So,
Since you're there right now, check out that Deadpool mask. It's not that far down. It's labeled as mercenary mask.
mercenary mask, is that what we're looking for? Mad Hatter, Liberty, Omen, Knights, Goblin, Dark.
Brian wants the Liberty.
The Liberty and the
Anti-hero.
black and white one.
I want the Deadpool.
Mercenary. Dig. Okay, so I mean, it's Deadpool. That's what it is.
He just couldn't use the name.
Yeah, you can't use.
I mean,
I
tell,
wonder-
$100 for that mask, though, man.
want the-
tell
I
me
want
you
the
would
black and
rock
white
that on
one.
Halloween.
I mean, sure, but it's an expensive costume.
I want
That's-
the black and white one he had in the video with the red eyes.
The Punisher style type. That's what we've dubbed it as.
Is that what it was?
That's what
You
we're
see, I'm
dubbing
like
it as.
looking for the Punisher mask on here, and I don't see it on here. But I mean, obviously, he's got a huge selection on the website. It's actually crazy how many. I mean, I
Styles
keep
he
going
does.
down and down and down and down and down and down, and I mean, just it never ends. So make sure you do check out ShadowlandShop.com.
What are you on right now? Is that the Deathstroke right there?
This one? Yeah,
Yeah.
red and white mask. I think is that's
That one's
no.
not necessarily.
No.
He has the one that's the. It's the legit Deathstroke colors.
Well, and here we go. Hunter Red Mask is the one that he has on in this image right here. So if you scroll down pretty far down the page, you can get the Hunter Red Mask that you see in this image for $89.95 at ShadowlandShop.com.
They also have shirts and hats and stuff too. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say I see mixed in here a little bit of the red and is this the mech mask that you're talking about? I'm trying to figure out. I can't remember exactly what Deathstroke looks like.
Black and orange, I think.
Black and orange. That's right. Yeah. God, man, he's got a ton of masks on here. And T-shirts and vinyl decals. There we go. I finally have reached the bottom. Ton of masks, though. Make sure you check it out. ShadowlandShop.com.
You missed the Deathstroke.
Yeah, we'll have to flip through and find it, but make sure you do check that out and support that.
Somebody loves paints.
I think that was to the you're not buying $100 mask. Mom says you're not allowed. Sorry.
That's why I have a generous boss who would buy it for me if I asked him to.
But so, I mean, I think it's an interesting thing that goes on. I do want to dive into the reason that we kind of brought him up, which is a couple of days ago, he put out a new song.
Yesterday.
Right? Yesterday.
Not even a couple days ago.
24 hours, less than 48 hours ago.
And
it's already got 2,000 views. 1,000 of those views
are
from Kenny. Yeah.
They are not from me. Maybe about 20. Okay, like 40.
Right.
But still.
But so the new song is called Nasty.
But it
right?
only counts unique views, so.
Okay, that's true. So every device you've watched it on.
I've only watched it on my phone.
Okay. And the TV.
And there, so that would be
2 devices. Okay.
In the shop.
And at the shop.
Was still through. Okay, 3 then. Because I forget that the TV in the shop is a smart TV. So.
Yeah. All right. So, but the new song is "Nasty" by Loki, which is available at Listen to Loki, ListenLoKey.com. Available for download, but you can listen to it free right through the website there. Video is available at YouTube.com. You can find those links in the show notes below this episode. So make sure you do check that out. But the reason that it kind of drew your attention is because of its similarity to another song that you don't like nearly as much as this song. So tell everybody about that.
Although I didn't expect that it was going to be like the video popped up and it's like I follow him on Facebook and everything. And
right.
It's like, hey, win $1,000. You should have tagged 3 friends in it. So I did it yesterday and I did it again today. Today I tagged you in it.
I saw it. Yeah.
So.
And me.
And Brian. And I'm not worried about the $1,000. I just want a fucking Jason mask. So.
Yeah, I'll spend $1,000 buying shit from your website. I just want to.
Just give me a Jason mask and a Deadpool mask. I don't care about $1,000. Keep that and fucking tour.
So anyway, so why is it that that this is a special video? I guess.
First one he's done. Is that the original version or is it the good version?
No, it's the original.
First things first, I'm the realest.
Alright, cut it before we have to pay for it. So the for everybody who is, I mean, take a little second here, pause us, go watch the video in a new tab. Don't click away. But essentially, what it is he's using a beat that's very similar to "Fancy" by Iggy Azalea.
He did add a couple
summer.
little thingies.
I mean, it's changed, but it is
kind of like
that's a new one.
Kind of like Ice did after Pure Pressure.
Right.
To keep his stuff from that lawsuit in the early '90s. So.
But I have a little special connection to Iggy Azalea in that song because that was the second time in 6 months where I heard a song and I said, you know what? Let me find the video to that song. Found the video to the song and I said, this person is going to go from a nobody to top of the charts. And I called it. I said, she's going to be #1 on the Billboard Top 40 charts by Memorial Day. She was in April. The song dropped in February. So I did the same thing with Thrift Shop by Macklemore in the fall beforehand. Because there's something about these songs that just jump out at me. I knew they're popular. So I dig that song just because I predicted that I was going to be in the top 40. I mean, like, that doesn't mean anything. I understand it. Doesn't mean anything. But I liked it, and I thought it was going to be in the top 40. You did not like that song, though.
The music industry, just like with the government shit, has a bunch of sheep behind it. So.
Okay. So you're not a fan of Iggy Azalea, then?
I'm not really a fan of anything with mainstream. Unless it's Disturbed.
Right. So, does it break your heart that you like this song with this very similar beat?
No.
Okay.
Because I hated the original one, and, like, I watched it because he posted it, and I was like, we'll check that. I was like, R&B. I was like, fuck!
Right.
And by the time we got the hook, and he's like, from Philly to Tokyo, I'm like, yeah, I'm into this. And that's why I watched it 3 or 4 times in the shop yesterday.
Yeah.
So.
3 or 4. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Watched it 3 or 4 in the shop.
Right. 10 times at home.
I was gonna say 10 times at home.
I probably watched it 20 times when I got home last night. And I watched it another 20 times today because for about an hour and a half I just repeat.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
just like, yep, dig it. Like you did a good job on this beat.
Yeah.
I can bounce to it now.
So everybody should check out the Nasty video. Like I said, it's a very similar beat to Fancy, and I think that's the play off that they were doing. But it's weird because I do, again, if you go to listen to Loki.com, you can listen to the entire, what's an album called?
Jack Your Beats 3.
Jack Your Beats 3. Jack Yo Beats 3. And it's got a very different sound than his previous stuff, but the video for this is kind of back into the horrorcore. It's a lot of like, she takes the mushroom and goes down the rabbit hole. It's a girl dressed like Alice who eats a mushroom and then things get crazy and there starts to be murdering and stuff. So it's a lot in that vein, but the lyrics aren't in that vein. So it was like a weird combination, I think.
I want to catch a friend that's like fucked up,
Yeah.
tripping or something, and send it to them, and then get their response on it. Because the video itself is like trippy.
Yeah.
The way they shot it. It's like Tim Burton's Charlie and Chocolate Factory,
Right.
or
Alice in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass. Yeah.
well, I didn't see that one, so.
Well, I was gonna say the new Alice movie's coming out, and I'm pretty sure that's he was smart about it and put it out about the same time. So no other. I mean, you watched the video 100 times. You got no other thoughts about the video?
I think it's a great video.
Okay.
I love it. I'll probably keep watching it for the. What the fuck?
She wanted to do something, but it went back at him.
All right. So
That's why you don't smoke. You throw your lighters at walls.
so anyway,
Keep it cloudy.
You'll keep it in your hand at all times.
Keep it cloudy.
Speaking of vaping, as you can see, we are vaping here during the podcast. We are big fans of the crew down at Oasis Vapor, as always. Oasis has been big support of the podcast. We are big supporters of them. So a big thank you to Nate down at Oasis Vapor. If you have any vapor needs, if you're just starting out like me, you're trying to quit smoking, you're just getting into life, or even if you're getting into competitions, make sure you check out Oasis Vapor, North 6th Street in Denton, Maryland. Oasis Vapor on Facebook. You're going to find that link in the show notes to this episode. If you're driving down Route 404 on the way to the beach this year, it's going to be on the right-hand side on the exit for 313 and 616 between the Burger King and the McDonald's in the Big Red Building. You can't miss it. They've got all the supplies you can need. If you're going down there on the weekend, you're going to be able to catch Kenny in the shop there. Make sure you stop in and say hi. If you head down during the week, say hi to Nate. Let him know you heard about it on the podcast. And let them know that you are supporting them because you support
I
us.
kind of figured that.
So we super appreciate that. So.
But she missed by a whole lot.
Yeah, she
because
did.
that was the fucking wall.
It was like a 10-foot
Six-
miss.
Yeah.
Not even close.
I mean, I know he's got a big head, but it's not that big.
So
Ego, maybe. Head, not
right,
so
yeah,
much.
not metaphysical, not the physical head. So sorry, yeah, for everybody who's listening on the audio format, Karina said she was trying to hit me in the head with something, and clearly she missed. I didn't even see it come in, but she didn't do a
I
very
think it
good
went
job.
back down the steps.
Hey, I think it
Yeah,
It probably hit one of them on the way back out.
good job. So we got a little bit of time left, and I wanted to kind of get off topic, but kind of still on topic a little bit. Oh, by the way, so speaking of vaping, we are going to have a episode in the next couple of weeks about the new FDA regulations. So we can definitely get into
Whether
that.
or not we actually get Joe Junks here.
Right, we'll be having our own
He
episode.
is busy. I'm waiting for his wife to get back to me for a time frame. I'm trying to shoot for a Wednesday night for it so that we can have most of the crew here for that,
Right.
which would be perfect.
Right, so keep an eye out for that. That'll be happening in the next couple weeks, so make sure you follow along with us for that. So earlier I mentioned that I think the Joker and Loki are the same person. I maintain that they're the same person, but you actually showed me a new video I hadn't seen before, which was like an apology video from the Joker.
I've showed you that before.
I don't think I've seen the... I saw all of the videos that are featured inside of that video I've seen, but I haven't seen the apology video.
I've shown it to you.
I don't think they have. So how old is that video?
That is probably a year and a half, 2 years old at this point.
Oh, okay. We'll see. I had no idea.
I've showed it to you, but we never watched the whole thing. It was one of those things I think we were about to talk about Hobson or something.
Right.
And I should have like, here, so listen to a couple seconds of this and...
Okay, so obviously the beef has been quashed, but the reason I brought it up is because he actually mentions Loki in that video. So what is the relationship between those two?
Apparently, I mean, they're pretty cool with each other. That one is a new one on me. I didn't know they knew each other like that, but it doesn't surprise me at the same sense because a lot of people in the underground level, they find connections. And if you don't, you find beef. Just like with Joker and Gruesome for a while.
Right.
Joker and Cryptic Wisdom had a couple of beef videos with each other. And there was even one where Cryptic Wisdom did the Don't Funk Up Your Beat shit for Hobson's Funk Volume shit.
Right.
A while ago. Where he made a joke about Joker, and I think Joker took it too seriously, and that's where that whole beef came from, but...
Or Loki and Jason, who had their own beef in the Nasty video. So there's a featurette right in the middle of the video where
which,
Loki...
by the way, Loki also did the design on that.
On the Jason mask itself, yeah. Which I think is also available at shadowlandshop.com, so make sure you check that out. But so I know that you're a huge Jason fan. What were your thoughts about that little exchange?
I loved it.
Yeah.
And everybody that's seen it was like, I know your favorite part was the part with Jason. I was like, yes. I love how he just got, he would ask him a question and he got quiet for like a second or two. Like somehow, probably telepathically, Jason was talking to him.
Yeah. He was getting an answer to his question.
Yeah.
Following it up.
It's just like, these bitches ain't even making it hard no more. Just
Barely able to break a sweat.
not even bringing a sweat. I just walk to them, and they'll be like,
So yeah, I mean,
ominously like
running after him. I mean, ominously walking. Yeah.
It just cracks you up.
And then makes a crack about Jason's mom at the end of it.
Hi.
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
Jason's like, oh, just joking, bro. See you later. Hit me up on Facebook now. And he walks off.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't follow this stuff the way that you do. This is the new stuff from Loki. When's the last time that we got new music from him?
Last time I checked out a new album from him was probably a year and a half ago. It was an experimental album.
Right.
It had like the rocker beats. It has like some singing stuff on it and everything. I mean, I enjoyed it, but it's not something everybody's gonna enjoy, obviously. But
Right.
Somebody out there's gonna enjoy it, whether it's fans of his previously or not. Somebody's gonna enjoy it, and it's kept him going as we've seen.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, again, you know a little bit more about him than I do, but he's now living in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
What's his situation in Miami? Because I know, like you said, he kind of cut his teeth in Philadelphia, and you knew him through the crew here in Delmarva, Delaware area. So what's going on in Miami?
I think right now, I don't know, like a whole, on a personal level, I think right now he's probably working on his music.
Well, I mean, so is the scene good down in Miami? Is that why he's there, or is this the weather good and that's why he's there?
Probably the weather. It's not as shitty as up here, where one day it's fucking 80 degrees and the next day it's like damn near snowing.
And it's gonna rain the rest of the week, unfortunately.
So we've had like snow or rain for like a month now, basically.
It's 17, 18 days, 19 days.
And it's gonna rain again the rest of the week through Saturday.
We get one day where it's like 85 degrees and sunny, and then it's like rain or snow.
Prefer South Florida over that anytime. But
I want to go to the beaches.
I'll take your hurricanes for a week out of the year.
Yeah. And really just the danger, because it doesn't hit every year. You just gotta worry about it. Like, oh crap, is it gonna hit? Nope. Okay, good. Back to the party. Which is why I moved to California. Hey.
Oh, so you're going to the earthquakes.
I'll take the danger of an earthquake over shitty rainy weather every single fucking day for a month.
I'm right behind you.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
Or, Planet of the Apes kind of deal.
Yeah, exactly. So what about the Joker? Any new music from him?
I looked him up after you tried to say something about it.
Yeah.
He hasn't posted anything really for a while.
Yeah.
Newest thing he posted we actually talked about the last time he came up. So.
Right. Yeah. So, anything else on the horizon as far as music's concerned? I mean, we've talked a lot about Hobson, and Underground Prodigy is obviously popping out new stuff all the time, it seems like. But other than that, anything else?
Tech Nine's got another album about to come out.
Yeah.
Chris Calico just dropped his new album, which is a different venture for him, as opposed to doing his normal hip hop. It's more of an R&B style, Backstreet Boys type styles. A lot of singing. I checked out a video while waiting for you tonight. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I'll show it to you before you leave.
Yeah, man.
And we can at least mention it next week.
Good. All right. And like I said, we got that FDA rules episode coming, so make sure you, yeah. That's not for the fans, that's the FDA. To the FDA, yeah.
Brian, too, who's out of camera.
Make sure you... Nope, that part. You gotta join us. You gotta join us in the studio if you want to come in and be on the show. Other than that, though, any other new stuff coming that you're excited about, or stuff that we're looking for?
There's a lot of new stuff. I kind of before we do go, I want to mention there was a mention about Ritz from Tax Label.
Right. Yeah. And that was in one of the songs on. Is it Steal Your Beats?
Steal Your Beats.
Steal Your Beats. Yo Beats.
Yo Beats.
Yeah.
3. Let me see if I can find it. Joker actually read my message, so...
Yeah.
If he's watching, you could call him right now and confirm shit.
But, so there was a mention of Ritz, who we talked about a couple episodes ago, who had a new album out, but there was a mention of him in one of the songs on the new album by Loki.
So the Drink a Gallon, which
right.
I told you to watch on your way over.
Yep.
Loki said, "Sorry, Ritz, I can't get down with that Crown shit or $50 bottles that rich boys get down with." And right after that, he said, "I'm not about that fancy shit."
Right.
So, obviously, you know, I know what he's saying with fucking $14 half gallons, so...
Enrico. Blah. But yeah, I think that's interesting too, because it's like none of them are super well known.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's got their little like niche that they fit in, and there's always a hierarchy. So I mean, obviously Loki's finding himself at the lower end of the at least he thinks so, at the lower end of the hierarchy, and then above him is some other people. Ritz is above him, he thinks. It's weird because you look at, I mean, not that they're comparable in any way, but Lil Wayne is doing commercials where he's like throwing $1,000 bottles of champagne, pouring it on his phone or whatever, and like, "Oh, this is the life I live. I can just dump out $1,000 bottles." And then you have Loki, who is tongue-in-cheek insulting Ritz about a $50 bottle of whiskey.
I didn't look at it like he was insulting him.
Well, no, it's just like a tongue-in-cheek, like, I can't afford that shit.
For me, it was, he don't get down with Crown, because Crown's not really expensive.
Okay.
But then he turned around, like to say, I used to like my Edgar.
Right.
And I liked it because that right there, because nobody else liked it. So I knew if I got that bottle,
asking you for
nobody was going to touch it but me.
Fair enough, yeah.
That was
That's why I drank whiskey in college, because nobody liked whiskey in college. It was everybody was drinking beer or clear liquor. I walked around my bottle all night, be fun. Huh?
I got some Red Stag at the house.
Jack Daniels or death in me. That's all I roll with. But
151.
But no, so it's like funny that there's like that, because I'm sure that Ritz is looking at his Crown and thinking like, well, somebody else is drinking Grey Goose. It's $150 a bottle. And then that person's looking at Lil Wayne, who's dumping $1,000 bottles of champagne out, and to each of them it's...
Lil Wayne's just overpaid altogether.
Well, that's probably true. But it's just weird that there are such these levels to everything. But continue to move forward, and obviously we do support the underground artists, so make sure you check out shadowlandshop.com to find masks just like this one that are available for purchase. Make sure you check out listentoloki.com.
And they come with the insert, so you can black out the eyes and nobody can see what you're doing.
There you go. Make sure you check out listentoloki.com and download, pay for the album. It's like $3.99. You can't beat it. It's great music.
I mean,
$3.99.
you buy a T-shirt, just help him out.
Right. Anyway,
let him tour. Maybe he'll hit Maryland before Rob leaves to go to California. We could
or
check it out.
hit California while I'm out there, and then I'll see you at a much better venue
But
when the weather's better.
that's fun because I can't be there too.
But we always like to support the artists that are struggling to make it. Make sure you do support them. Obviously, I am in a lot of ways in a similar boat of like trying to do stuff. Yeah, trying to do stuff and needing the support. So make sure you go out and support them. I like to support them. Make sure you do it too. So, and speaking of supporting people who need support, a great way to support this podcast and the entire podcast network is to go to patreon.com, patreon.com/OTheAnthem. This podcast is a proud member of the O The Anthem digital network, and a great way to support that network is to become a supporter at Patreon for O The Anthem. And for as little as $1 a month, you can help support the network. It helps us get the bandwidth that we need to keep things posted, to get the website set up, to get new equipment and everything that we need. That is a great way, and it's a cheap way to get things involved. Like I said, you purchase an album for $3.99. It's basically the cost of a cup of coffee. This coffee costs me $3. For that much per month, instead of once in a day, once in a month, you can join one of our levels of support on patreon.com, and it really helps us out. So we really appreciate everybody who has joined already, and we would really be looking out for more people to come in and join. So, anything else going this week that you want to talk about?
Since it's official,
Yeah.
with you leaving, anybody looking to fill Rob's shoes to downgrade my outside of the box thinking on podcasts,
Right.
feel free to hit either one of us up and join us on podcasts from now till the time you leave, which
Yep.
is what, September?
Ish, yeah. So for over the next couple months, we're going to be looking for a new co-host for the podcast. So we're going to be doing a great, obviously we want somebody who loves music as much as Kenny does, loves movies as much as we both do, loves all the stuff that you hear us talking about on here. We're looking for somebody who's got that same kind of feel. And we'll do a little bit of interview, have you come in, sit down, do a couple podcasts with us. And if it feels like a good fit, you could be the next person sitting on the couch right here, taking my place as I head off to California. So obviously you want to...
Don't make me follow Rob.
If you're worthy.
So you want to send an email to dirtyshreeug@gmail.com or rob@robertncheek.com. And at either of those addresses, you can reach us, let us know that you're interested, come out, and we're going to take the next couple months to find somebody else. And after that's done, we'll have a new co-host for the podcast, and I can go off to California and let everybody handle their business while I'm gone. So
Otherwise, you're going to have to try to partake in a Walking Dead podcast.
without having seen the episode, because
Yeah.
it's 3 hours ahead of time?
Yeah.
So that'll be super fun. But also...
Let's see you keep up with that one.
Although, if I stay up later,
we could just do it in the middle of the night.
we could...
Your time, middle of the night.
Yeah.
Regular time.
And I'll just put Jerry over there, like we talked about the one night, and I'll put my tablet on the thing.
Right.
And we'll
Live stream my face.
We'll do the whole How I Met Your Mother bullshit until we find somebody that could take your place.
Please don't make us do that. Send an email to dirtyshreeug@gmail.com or rob@robertncheek.com, or send us a message on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, @dirtyshreeug. Let us know you're interested. And just like and subscribe to those different routes so that you can get all the latest updates. Make sure you check out youtube.com/c/dirtyshreeug-OTA for the tapes of the live streams of the podcast. It's always where you want to go for the live stream, so you can participate. Just like everybody who's been commenting, thank you all for joining us in the comment section tonight. And you want to make sure you check out DirtyShoreUnderground.com for the newest episodes of the podcast. We post there new episodes every Thursday, bonus episodes every Monday or Tuesday. And make sure you join us Sunday night for the final episode of Fear the Walking Dead here live. Well, for the mid-season finale of Fear the Walking Dead right here live. So you can't beat that. Maybe you can find me on all your social networks at Robert N. Cheek. Make sure you check out robertncheek.com for links to my news website, for links to my political blog, to join my mailing list, and to find links to my books, which are available on Amazon. Yeah, listen, if I got more time to do this, if we get a new co-host in here, then I'll have more time that I can work on the call, so we'll get it done.
You sit in your car for like 5 minutes between Ubers that you could be getting that done.
You don't understand how... That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. But, make sure you join us on Sunday. Make sure you join us on Sunday. We'll look forward to seeing you then. Until then, have a great week, everybody.
Peace. Good night, everybody.